What's going on, hikers? In today's video, we're talking about some things to expect whenever you're going on your first backpacking trip. Our mission here is to help you increase your quality of life on trail. So that's the intention of this video. Now, before I give you the first one, I will say a bunch of you commented on a recent video I did wearing this shirt. And if you want to check it out, I'm going to link it in the description. I know a bunch of you all always comment on the different graphic tees that I wear. So it's kind of a little fun thing that I like to do as a background in the video. So anyway, let's get started. The first thing you can expect whenever you're going on your first backpacking trip is you're using gear that you're not familiar with. And that could be a new tent, it could be anything that you've either purchased or borrowed from someone else. I know my first backpacking trip, I was trying to take a hammock, and a hammock's something you really have to dial in order to get a good night's sleep. So what I would suggest that you do is maybe try out your equipment at home first. Now, if you're sleeping in a tent, set that tent up, sleep in your backyard for a night, try out your sleeping pad, try out your sleeping bag. You might find that it's not the right size tent for you, or that you're getting some condensation and getting your sleeping bag wet. So always try using your equipment at home before taking it out into the woods with you, because it could be a big mistake. I know there's been times that I've literally forgotten pieces of equipment at home that I needed for my whole setup, and it's because I didn't do it at home first. So try it out at home first. The second thing you can expect is to actually be physically challenged from your backpacking trip. Now, terrain is going to be different depending on where you go, and of course everybody has a different set of gear. So I would try to maybe budget a little extra time during the day in order to put in however many miles I want to do. If you're starting with kind of some longer days, maybe it's your first trip, but you still want to be like, I'm going to crank out 10 miles on that first day. That's cool, but consider everything from your terrain to how long it's going to take you to actually walk those miles and how heavy your gear is. I mean, there's a lot of factors there, but expect some physical challenge. Now, what you could do is, you could train and kind of work your way up to that first trip, but at the end of the day, you got to get out and go. The third thing you can expect on your first backpacking trip is to take way more stuff than you need. So what I have here is a backpacking gear list, and it's like a checklist of the stuff that I want to take with me. And on the back, I do some optional items, just some luxury things that I may or may not take on every trip. I would suggest that you do something similar. Whatever your gear list is going to be, write it all down, take your trip, and then whenever you get back, figure out the things that you didn't use. Maybe do that a few times, and then you'll start eliminating stuff that you never use, and you're like, why would I carry this wasted weight whenever I could carry something that I really enjoy? Like for me, that would be some extra chocolate. Number 4, this one makes me kind of sad, but another thing that you can expect on your first backpacking trip is to see way less wildlife than you would expect. See, you go in with the mindset, I'm gonna see, deer grazing, little fawns with their mom, and maybe I'll see a bear, and that's kind of scary, but it'd still be cool. Or, a majestic moose, swimming across this giant pond. It's pretty rare. It's so rare. Now, that could just be me, but I'm pretty sure, and I've been to different, parts of the U.S. and backpacks in different areas, but I always see a lot less wildlife than I would think. Maybe a squirrel here and there, definitely some birds, but I will tell you, one time I was doing this solo trip, and I was backpacking first thing in the morning, and I was walking along the trail, and I spooked a deer. It scared the crap out of me. I come around a corner, and then the deer just jump up and ran off. Whew. But yeah, you probably are going to see a lot less wildlife than expected, but the more you get out there, definitely the more you're going to see, so make sure you're getting up and going. The 5th thing that you can expect on your first backpacking trip is to get much dirtier and stinkier than you expected to. Now, don't get me wrong, if you're somebody that wants to stay pretty clean, you can still do so. I would suggest at least using baby wipes, because they'll help you from getting chafed. If you're doing a multi-day backpacking trip, I usually clean the nether regions and under my arms, my feet, my face. Do it and either use multiple baby wipes or do it in the most sanitary order possible. You know, probably not do your face last, but you can stay cleaner than you would think. I know some people like to take biodegradable soap. Just make sure you're not using that around a water source. I will actually sometimes take my cook pan, scoop up some water, and go wash off away from that water source. So if you really want to take a bath out there, you can, but expect for your fingernails to get dirty. Your feet are going to be pretty nasty. Try to keep those clean because you don't want to get blisters, but you're going to come back like hiker trash. And if you do, congratulations, because that's the goal out there.